This is Movies in Contemplation with Jarokk and...
Oh, am I talking to you?
Jesus, yeah.
I wanna tell you a story every man ought to know.
Jarokk and Cali's tape starting in 4, 3, 2...
1.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Hi, gang. Thanks for joining us once again.
Once again. It's going to be a wonderful episode.
Today, it's a Jarokk pick.
It is. It is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Hollywood, where the streets are paved and gold, where the kitties never roam, not Hollywood.
Yeah.
Moss margaritas.
Moss margaritas.
Moss margaritas. Today, we do have wine for today's episode. It is Han. And we decided to go, I decided to go with Han because it was so close to Spawn.
Spawn Ranch.
Han Ranch, Spawn Ranch. So I figured, hell, why the hell not, right?
Yes.
Anywho. Jesus Christ, I haven't had a margarita in so long.
Well,
You made it so good.
Are we going to say that we're also drinking margaritas or what?
Well, the cat's out of the bag.
It doesn't have to be.
We're also drinking margaritas.
We made one batch of margaritas.
Yes.
Because we had to because of this film. If you haven't seen it,
You'll understand
why.
when you see it.
Yeah, when you see it. Hopefully you've seen it. Have you seen it?
I have seen it. All right.
But next order of business.
Business, a handy-dandy Shakespearean notebook.
Notebook. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We got a heinous that is an outrageously wicked, odious, atrocious.
Okay.
Snail paste, slow speed and thought.
Ooh, and thoughts.
Scut, an erect tail of a deer.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a heinous snail paste scut.
Okay.
Keep in mind who that is throughout this film.
All right.
All right.
Well, Jarokk, what made you pick this film? Why do you like it?
You know what? I liked this film a lot because, I saw it with Cream and another friend of ours in theaters. Went without you, and I felt horrible. But
well, it's fine. I couldn't go.
But this movie was so good. A huge Quentin fan. I love Quentin Tarantino movies. I love them. I feel with his movies, his writing, and just everything about it, he makes you guess. You almost, with a Quentin film, have to imagine the story in your own way. And that is something that I really love that he does. And which is why in most of his films, he has the chapters, and the chapters are all mixed up to confuse you and just make you go, what? And this film, however, does not go in the chapter realm of how he usually does it.
No, it'll jump from here to there.
Yeah.
But not
But it's not in chapters.
Right,
What
it's not
we're
in
used
chapters.
to, seeing with him.
Exactly.
But I really enjoyed this film. I really like it. And it really is his love letter to the industry, to Hollywood. It's what everybody's saying. And even him, it is his love letter. It is
I agree.
a send-off. And it shows how much he loves Hollywood. It shows how much he loved growing up in the 60s, 70s, mainly 70s. But, just amazing time. Well, I guess he was a child of the 60s. But anywho.
Yeah, I unfortunately could not join you in seeing this in theaters, but I also never saw a trailer for it.
Yeah.
I really didn't read up on it. And I don't... With Tarantino films, I kind of do that, not on purpose, but I subconsciously just go into Tarantino films to not know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And this one, I am really glad that I didn't know anything about it because it was just out there, but a wonderful surprise.
Yeah.
I guess, but we'll talk about that more. But yeah, it was a very interesting film, a little different, but also still very Tarantino.
Yeah. So we open up, and I love the opening of this film. We open up, and we're doing a movie interview. Well, a show interview. And it's Rick Dalton, Leo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Cliff Booth, and whoever the interviewer was. But the interviewer is talking to him, and he's like, I'm here on set with Rick Dalton, and folks, if you think you're seeing double, don't adjust your televisions, because you just might be seeing double. You get Leo pretty much talking for Cliff. Like, those questions were essentially directed to Cliff, but Leo was speaking for him. Mm-hmm. I love when Leo was like, describing it, and he was like, let's say that I have to fall off a horse. Now, have I rode a horse? Well, yes, I have. And have I fallen off a horse? Well, yes, I have. But let's say I fall off wrong, bust my head and whatever night, and I'm out of the shop for about a week or 2 months. Slows down production. That's where Cliff comes in. We do all that shit. I loved his fucking dialect. It was so like George W. meets fucking...
Would you say it's a Midwest or more Southern?
Myself, personally, it might... It depends, because there are, like, especially here in Missouri, when you go, like, further south of Missouri, like, you will get those type of people that have that fucking twang.
More twang.
But...
Because I know you mentioned, like, at the end of the film, might have to go back to Missouri.
Yeah, I might have to go back to Missouri.
I was just wondering what you
It just depends on where he's from. I have no fucking idea.
That's true.
The farthest I've honestly ventured in Missouri, I mean, I've been to Springfield, I've been to St. Louis. Well, we live in St. Louis. Grew up in St. Louis. Mm-hmm. And fucking Kansas City, but that's about it. But anywho. Yeah, but...
That was a funny line that Brad Pitt got to say about carrying his load.
Oh, yeah. Would you call it carrying his load? Do I call it carrying his load? Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, it's about right.
Oh, I fucking loved it. Yeah, and then they go... Well, then we have these, like, a lot of montages.
Yes.
And I loved it because of the music choice. It's so us, number one.
Yes.
The music in this film is so us. Mm-hmm. 60s...
Late 60s, early 70s.
70s,
yeah.
Music. Just such a great track, man.
And it's interesting because when we had to pause the film right at the beginning of the montage, and I didn't even know that Margot Robbie was even in the film.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I saw Sharon Tate, Margot Robbie, and then that's when my clock started to move, and like, okay, the time period kind of makes sense. Does this have anything to do with what I think it is? I was a little like, oh God, is this going to be another Manson movie?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is this going to be another one? Like, there's so many already, so like, I tried to not think of that, like, oh my God, this is just going to be like, just like all the others, and blah, 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 but...
Manson with a twist.
We shall see.
But yeah, we see that montage of them, Cliff and Rick going to a dinner or something. Well, just going to get drinks. They're going to, like, a bar.
Yeah.
And then they meet Al Pacino's character, who, Al Pacino is a Marvin Schwartz.
Schwarz.
Even, Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's Schwartz.
It's Schwarz.
Name is Schwartz. Not Schwartz. Mm-hmm. Got very offended by that. But, yeah, they meet him. He's like what would you say he was? Like a casting scout or something, He was trying to get...
maybe
a producer. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a little hard to tell, but... Yeah, he could be scouting for American talent to join the type of movies that he's trying to pitch to Rick Dalton.
Mm-hmm. Which he is trying to pitch spaghetti westerns to Rick.
In Italy.
In Italy, exactly. Yeah. And Rick, now, I love his story because... I love him because you really do see this, like, man had it all when he was young,
Mm-hmm.
Was a star and now is getting lighter roles, bad guy roles. And that's what Al Pacino is kind of trying to make Rick feel bad about the roles that he's getting. He's all like, you're just getting the heavies, you're the villain. What do? Half of them, you don't even have a fight scene. And if you do have a fight scene, you're losing. Like, pretty soon, nobody's going to know who you are anymore because they're going to be seeing you as the villain and don't get jobs and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, that was a little confusing to me. I mean, I know he was kind of, like, playing him to kind of get him to feel bad about himself and try to get him to, like, oh, well, Italy's the way to go.
That's where you gotta go. You'll get the big roles in Italy,
right.
Yeah.
But also, it is kind of true because during this time in Hollywood, it was, like, this movie also gives me, like, Sunset Boulevard vibes because it's, like, the end of, like, an era.
Yeah.
Like with Sunset Boulevard, it was the end of silent movies and the actress that couldn't cope with moving on. Mm-hmm. And then I'm seeing Dalton. Is it Dalton?
Rick Dalton.
Rick Dalton. God, I am like, it's going to be hard to not think of Patrick Swayze.
Ha! His name's Dalton.
Dalton.
You gentlemen have to leave.
I don't fly. I dance my way places.
God damn it. Oh.
But
Roadhouse.
this is the time period where, like, if you were a star, like the studios, they were the big thing. It was all about studios and stars. Mm-hmm. Studios would sign a contract to a movie star, and the studio would book them for the films. They would be booked for, like, okay, you're going to do this film, this film, this film, that film. You really didn't have to do any work. It was just, all right, these are the jobs, and I'm a name. And then around this time, like, there's the shift. I looked it up. It's called auteurism. It's the belief that a movie should primarily reveal the director's feelings and belief as if he has written it himself. People started to pay more attention to the director's vision and point of view, and not just, oh, well, this is a studio thing and the censorship and all that. So I think for sure Dalton was having a hard time coping with that. And I think we see it more throughout the film.
Yeah. Rick Dalton was pretty much the one that was like, I don't want to do it. Because he had a fucking fit when he left. And Brad Pitt,
a fit.
Cliff was all like, you know, what's going on? Do you turn me down? He goes, no. He wants me to do spaghetti westerns. He's like, I got to go all the way to Italy and do spaghetti westerns. He goes, well, what's so bad about that? And he goes, I got to go to fucking Italy, that's why I gotta do Italian films. He's like, get me in the car, get me out of here. And it's so funny because he's having this fucking fit, and he gets into the car, and he's kicking the dash where he's doing all this shit, and the fucking valet is still in the car. That's my favorite thing. Like, Cliff is like rushing around the driver's seat, and the guy just gets out. He's like, get me home, Cliff. Get me home. And
he's like having his like diva temper tantrum.
He's freaking out. Gets home, finds out. Well, he already knew, but he sees Roman Polanski and Sharon.
Yeah.
Pull up, and he's all like, "It's Roman Polanski. He's been living next door to me for however long." Mm-hmm. And then he starts feeling good about himself because I was like, he was just kind of like, you know what, maybe I'll have a pool party one day if I do this, and then I'll be able to, you know, be with Roman Polanski, and maybe I'll be in the next Roman Polanski film. Who knows?
Yeah, you gotta schmooze.
Yeah.
I also thought that, went in not knowing the story.
Yeah.
I thought that Rick and Cliff were like closeted lovers and tried to cope with being professional and romantic and fighting. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I got at first.
Yeah.
When they got to Rick's house. But then I'm like, okay, so it's not that, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know, but that was my first. That was my first guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that's interesting, but that is an interesting take because, you know, but that was kind of well, if anything, it would have made you think that Rick was, because Cliff, obviously, during their drive,
right,
we do have that fucking song, "Always is always forever."
Yeah, always. Yeah,
yeah, and then the fucking hippie girls,
creepy chant,
are walking down the fucking street, and they got a stray Malinois with them, like all kinds of shit. They're all walking. They're dumpster diving. Hot dog buns!
Oh my god, and pickles!
Yeah, pickles! They just get all this shit from the trash. And I was like, oh my god. And they're walking, and Cliff sees them, and he eyes one.
Yeah.
And he, like, gives her a peace sign, because she gives him a peace sign.
Yeah.
So right there, you're already kind of like, okay, he wants the poon.
Yeah.
But with Rick, I can understand that. I could see, because we go pretty much the whole film until the end without seeing him with a female.
True, yeah.
So I can see where you were getting with that.
Yeah. But again, with Tarantino, it's like keeping us guessing.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is totally
and that was the
fine.
thing. Yeah, and, you know, and they get home, Cliff is all like, are you gonna need me? I'm gonna get my butt home. DiCaprio's all like, no, I'm just gonna get in here. I got lines to do. I gotta do my lines. He's like, all right, well, remember tomorrow, 7:15, out the door, 7:15. Gotcha.
In the car.
I got it. We'll be there. They're doing all that shit, and then
yeah, because we learn at that point that Rick gives that lie about him not, like, his car's in the shop, so his stunt man.
We do know about that because fucking Al Pacino asked. He said, oh, is that your son? He like gave him,
right, yeah.
And DiCaprio was all like, hell no, what? no, he's my stunt man. He's just giving me a ride. My car's in a shop. And then you find out, he had DUIs. And that's where we learn that Cliff is an alcoholic.
Yes.
Because the narrator, a.k.a. Kurt Russell, is telling us, he had...
In truth, that was a lie.
Yeah, that was a lie, So
Rick can't drive.
Yeah, Cliff is literally like his gopher. He
gopher,
fucking
personal
takes him
assistant,
he
driver.
does everything for him.
Everything, yeah.
Everything. So we have that I really love that like montage moment of Cliff driving home. And we get all the different songs from the channel, and it's really making you say, this is a drive from the Hollywood Hills to fucking Van Nuys.
Yes.
Like, that's how long it fucking takes. Like, I just loved it.
From LA, from like Hollywood to the Valley. And this movie was just visually stunning.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
I loved it.
Stunning. Like, to see how they put together how Hollywood and Los Angeles looked back then.
Yeah.
It was really gorgeous.
It was really cool. So he pulls into, he lives right behind the drive-in.
The Van Nuys drive-in.
The Van Nuys drive-in.
Which I confirmed with my mother. We used to go to that drive-in.
Did you?
Yeah, in the late 80s.
Nice.
Early 90s, and that's where we would go. And I can't believe you said you've never been to a drive-in.
I've never been to a drive-in.
That's so crazy. Were they not big out in the Midwest?
I think we have some, but I don't know. I've just never been.
Yeah.
I've never been to one, and my family never took me to one, so I don't know. If we do have one out here, I feel like there's one in Illinois, but I don't know.
Who knows how they are now? Because you would have to, like, connect something to your antenna to make it so you can hear the sound of the movie through your radio.
Oh, that's fucking bizarre.
And then you had to get, it was just
I wonder how they would do it now then.
I think of like Grease or like The Outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
You would have to like leave to go to the like concession stand to get like popcorn and drinks and stuff. So
yeah.
It was a lot of fun, but they don't really exist anymore.
Yeah.
And he lives in like a trailer.
He lives in a trailer.
And please describe this scene because this is you to a fucking T.
I fucking love it. So he gets home. It really is. It's bizarre. I was literally watching when I first watched this. I was like, copyright, infringement. I'm being fucking followed.
Yeah. Was Brad Pitt following you?
Yeah, I think he was fucking legit.
Holy shit!
I think he was legit. Like what's the word? I was being stalked.
Yeah,
I don't know, but anywho,
it's like Ingrid Goes West, single white female, but
it's Brad.
But it's Brad, and he wants to be you.
Yeah, exactly.
Not be friends with you, just be you.
He wants to be me.
Yeah.
Very taking lives or whatever that fucking movie.
Oh my god, taking lives. That's it.
He did that to me. That's me. I'm Brad Pitt. No. Anywho, so Brad gets to his trailer. Walks in the door. Mind you, I love this. Brandy, he's got his female dog, just like our baby Gypsy.
Oh my god.
And he leaves the television on. He's got fucking Robert Goulet, or whoever. Is it
Robert Goulet?
Robert Goulet, I believe so.
He's singing.
He's fucking singing
MacArthur Park.
Melting
in the dark.
That took so long to bake it.
Slowing down.
Anywho.
We do the same thing.
I know, we leave the TV on for the pups.
For the pups, yeah.
Yeah, we leave it on. And anywho, he walks in, he's loving her. He's playing with her, he's doing all this shit.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
milk
gorgeous
chocolate
pit
bull. Just gorgeous.
Blue nose.
Blue nose.
Oh.
You think blue nose?
I you know what, I don't know. It might have been.
It's hard to tell.
Was it blue nose or red? I don't know.
I don't know either.
That's gorgeous. The one thing I don't know about Pippa. I'm really ignorant in that aspect of the noses because I don't fucking know. But I love them. Anywho, I'll never go away from a bully breed because of you. When we got Gypsy, she fucking broke She broke me. She made me a bully breed.
Yay!
Love her.
I grew up with them.
I know, and I don't want to go outside of that breed like ever.
Yeah.
But back to it. So he gives her a fucking bone, and I love it because he's just it's this monster, and he's like, got some food. It's gonna blow your mind, man.
Like, who's more excited,
right?
Him or the dog?
It's gonna blow your mind, man. And he goes to the kitchen, and he puts her in a sit on a chair, mind you. Puts her in a fucking sit on a chair, and Gypsy. That is exactly how she listens to me. I do snap and point, and she fucking knows. This fucking monstrosity, however,
that's under our desk right now, sleeping.
He does not fucking
respond
to us. Well, he'll respond to a snap if I'm like need his attention, but if I point, he's so dumb. He don't know what he's doing.
No.
But she will be like, yeah, all right, I need to go there.
She's so
I need
damn
to do this.
Smart.
And that's those bullies.
And she was smart the moment we met her.
Exactly.
Because when we went to the shelter, I don't even remember where it was. It was like ways away in LA. It was like...
Were we downtown?
We were like close to downtown, I think.
When we got her? I don't remember where the fuck we got her.
Yeah, but like we were going down the aisle of where all the dogs are, and they're in these like little tiny...
They were fucking cramped.
Confined. But
and every single one was just
yes, every single dog was barking, and then as soon as we saw Gypsy, she was sitting down, waiting
and looking at us, and
looking
was just
at
like,
us.
"Hello," and we were like, "Bring her out."
Yeah, well, we were there to get her.
That's right, we were. Oh my god, we went to look at her.
An old friend of mine posted her picture on Facebook, and I was like, "She looks exactly like a dog that I grew up with, Rosie."
Yeah.
We have to get her.
Right. So we took Gypsy out. We took her to the thing, and oh my god,
we got her right then and there.
Right then and there, we got her.
Yep.
It's our baby girl. It's our firstborn.
So she's 8 this month.
Oh my god, that is
8 years old. Oh my god.
All right. We're hamming this of her. She's hamming it, and she ain't even in the room.
I know.
Anywho, he gets her in a climb, and he's sitting there, and he's pouring her food. She gives out a whine. He goes,
"So much food.
So much fucking. Well, look how fucking monstrous she was."
True.
Too.
I was thinking, like, are we like underfeeding her? Which we're not, because we were told that she was overweight.
Well, that's their assumption. That's their assumption.
Oh my god, you're such a dad.
They're saying that shit, and then he is making his dinner.
Yes.
Which is macaroni and fucking cheese. Which, folks, contemplators, that is my fucking favorite goddamn dish
ever.
I have been eating that shit since I was a fucking youngling. I love macaroni and cheese, and even since I was a child, I have eaten an entire fucking pot on my own, and I eat it from the pot. So exactly how the fuck Brad made that shit and did everything, that is fucking me. I make a fucking pot, I will go to the couch, and I will eat that motherfucker and watch TV. That is why Callie is laughing her fucking ass off, because it is so fucking true. That is me. I have done that since I was a child, and I still do it as a man.
Oh my god. But then, it's that, and also, how he is with Brandy the dog, daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was so adorable and so on brand.
Is that a whine? I will throw this shit in the trash. I don't want to, but I will.
Yeah.
Is that a whine? And I treat Gypsy like that. I really do.
Strict, but loving.
And she fucking knows, and she loves it. And I love her. And I love you too, dude.
We love you, OB, too.
All right, so anywho, moving on from Cliff there. Now we got Rick prepping, and he did something ingenious that when I would study lines, I never would have thought of doing.
Really?
I never would have thought of fucking recording the other fucking parts and then trying to remember my lines. I never fucking thought of doing that.
I've done that.
That's ingenious then.
Well, I didn't.
For you.
I didn't learn that until after leaving school. Someone gave me that
option.
Suggestion.
Dude, I would sit there and throw a fucking tennis ball out of the wall like I was in fucking the Dirty Dozen, and I would fucking just be trying to remember my lines. But he's sitting there, Pepe, get your ass behind that bar, got me a guest. You know, all that shit. But he was doing all that.
Making a weird ass drink too, with like eggs, and egg whites.
It was his fucking
and Hennessy or
yeah,
something.
that was his whiskey sours.
That was his whiskey sours.
Have my whiskey sours
with egg.
That was back then, man. They put eggs in there. There's protein.
True.
Protein. People back then, man, they didn't care. They would put eggs in their protein drinks, eggs in every raw eggs was not a fucking fear back then.
Yeah.
But it is now.
Yeah.
But people still put like Arnold Schwarzenegger still very much puts raw eggs in his shit. He don't fucking care. So that's where it kind of makes you say, like, is eggs really that bad for you? Because people eat cookie dough all the fucking time. There's raw eggs and cookie dough.
Yeah.
You know?
They created cookie dough that you could eat that doesn't have eggs now.
Probably for the, what are they called? The vegans?
Maybe. But
For
it's for like, hey, if you're going to really eat cookie dough, eat it without the raw egg.
Right.
Try it that way. But
fuck that. I'm going to eat
But it doesn't, I've tried it. It doesn't taste as good. It's not the same.
Without the raw egg?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course
it's not the same.
Of course not. You're fucking tainting a dish. Well,
True.
I'm done with my margarita, so I need to go to the Hawn Ranch.
It's all yours.
I need to go to the Hawn Ranch here. Anywho, where were we?
He's going through his lines.
He's doing his lines. He's doing a hell of a great job.
He's doing a great job, but he's drinking.
Right.
At the same time.
And he fucking gets toasted. And then we see, I don't remember if we cut to Sharon. Do we? Or do we just go straight to
Sharon,
the morning?
Sharon Tate.
Yes, we do go to Sharon Tate. Sharon and...
they go to the
Playboy
Mansion.
And we see all of these, like, different celebrities. We see Mama Cass. We see Steve McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see Jay. The fuck was his name? Now, I'm not a big knowing person of Jay Sebring, so I can't really say anything about Jay.
Jay Sebring's the guy that plays
Emil Hirsch, yeah.
him. Yeah, he's from Into the Wild and
Girl Next
Door,
Door.
yeah. Well, there isn't much really to him. He's
just there. He's a squeeze.
He was ex-squeeze of Sharon Tate,
right.
And then he's also like a hairstylist, and
But they give McQueen... They give
Who
Steve
plays
McQueen. That is actually, believe it or not, from Your Highness. That is Damian Lewis. He was in Your Highness. He was the gay friend, the ginger.
Oh!
With the metal hand. He was all like, I used to do everything with you.
Okay.
That is him. That's Damian Lewis.
I don't know why. I thought it was somebody else.
Nope, Damian Lewis. But I loved his little fucking like monologue that he had where he was telling the story and he was like, I'm gonna tell you a story.
Yeah, we were getting backstory.
Yeah, he was like, they and then them, now they're inseparable.
The three
of them, they fucking hang out all the time. And fucking Polanski probably knew that they were still fooling around. Who the fuck knows?
Who knows?
I mean, I don't know.
But I read, this is what I read, that McQueen was supposed to go to Sharon Tate's house that night.
The night of
And McQueen was on Manson's list of celebrities. That's what I read. I had to like refresh my memory of everything that happened, but
see,
he just didn't go.
I don't know anything about fucking the Manson shit. I really don't.
I do because I wasn't obviously alive when that happened, but you can't grow up in LA and not know about. You can't grow up in the world without like everyone in the fucking universe know what happened.
Let me say, I knew what happened and I knew about it, but I don't know details. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, of course, everybody should know who the fuck Charles Manson is.
Yeah.
But and of course, I know who Charles Manson is, but I don't know details of that night.
No, I did, and also like, I mean, I am into like those like crime stories and like those investigating channels and all that. So what is it?
What the fuck did I say? Stan, not gonna kill your mom because of investigative discovery or some ID.
Oh God, what did they call it? Murder porn.
Murder porn.
I'm not gonna kill your mom because we watch murder porn.
Right, Stan. Anyhow.
You're allowed
because
the
of
kid.
investigative discovery.
Yeah.
All right, moving
But
on.
it was very true. And also, if you watch American Horror Story, the cult season, they talk about the Manson murders. And honestly, like, people put down that season a lot, but it's the only season that they do not use any type of supernatural
I was
horror.
intrigued, but for me, the
was-
pilot of that season just did not.
The pilot
do
was
it.
bad, but and the rest of
And
the
that's
season,
why I could not move forward, because I was like, this first episode is horrible.
right. But the rest of the season is interesting because it deals with real people and actual things that actually happened.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, that's more fucked up than seeing some clan that haunts a house kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, I do know the Manson thing, which got me intrigued to the movie. Like, oh, okay, this is something familiar to me.
Yeah.
First of all, so
yeah, but McQueen does that thing, and then McQueen says that line where, well, the girl with him was all like, well, Sharon's definitely got a type, like small men that look like 12-year-old boys. And he goes, yeah, I never stood a chance. And it was like, relatable, Steve. Thank you. You know, I sure as fuck do not look like a 12-year-old boy.
thank God.
You're welcome.
Ugh.
But, well, thank you. Anywho, so next day, Cliff, Leo, they go to work. They're driving to work. And he drops off Rick Dalton.
Cliff drops him off.
Cliff drops off Rick. And Cliff's all like, hey, can you talk to the stunt gaffer and ask him if I'm working tonight? And he's like, yeah, what I forgot to mention to you is the gaffer who does this, he's friends with Randy, gaffer from the Green Hornet. So it's pretty much a no. You know, just all that shit.
Yeah.
He's like, all right. So Rick needs Cliff to go back home, fix his antenna or some shit.
Yeah.
Which he's a handyman in the house, and yeah, he'll do it.
Yeah.
So he goes, and Leo is now walking the set. It was really cool, like, watching all that. He's like, hey, where do I go? I need to go somewhere, you know, Rick Dalton.
It's really weird. Like, do they mention, like, has it been a little bit for him since he's been, like, working?
I don't think they really mentioned it.
No.
Obviously
he just
not.
seemed, like, really out of his element.
I think because, number one, he was hungover.
That could have been it, yeah, because he was coughing a lot. Yeah, he was really hungover.
He was hungover as shit. He was coughing, and that's what the director Sam kind of says when he gets to the makeup trailer, and he's dunking his face in the hangover cure.
Yeah, and he's pulling a Mommy Dearest moment.
Yeah, he's got his fucking head in cold ice water. And he goes, hey, Sam, sorry about the wet hand. And Sam goes, oh, I'm used to it with you.
Yeah.
Like, right there. And I loved watching his fucking face because Leo's face was very like, well, fuck me.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I'm an alcoholic. But he's doing all that
He's
talking
trying his
shit.
best to stay professional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know? And he's sitting there, and Sam... And this is where you do see, like, the transitioning, because... We very much had... he is so used to, let's say, the early episodes of, like, Gunsmoke, Bonanza, The Rifleman, like, all Western shows that I love. My sister was a big fan of the Steve McQueen one. I think that was Wanted, Dead or Alive. I think that's essentially what Bounty Law was kind of based off of.
Oh, okay.
Their version was Wanted, Dead or Alive. That was Steve McQueen's show. My sister...
I didn't know Steve McQueen did a show.
He did, yeah, okay. He did. Wanted, Dead or Alive. Michelle is a huge fucking... I don't know what we should...
No, I was just about to go Dead or Alive.
Oh, yeah, Dead or Alive! But sister number one decided that she loves that show. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, and I love Steve McQueen, but that's not one of my favorite, like, Western shows from that era.
You said you like spaghetti westerns.
I love fucking spaghetti westerns.
Yeah, you do.
I love fucking spaghetti westerns. There are, in my opinion, two types of cowboy lovers. There's your fucking John Waynes and your fucking Clint Eastwoods. I am very much on Clint Eastwood's side.
Okay.
I do not like fucking John Wayne westerns. I do not like them. I think Wayne is... They both play themselves in a way, but Wayne is just, all right, that Pilgrim. You know, I'm not about it, but I love... And it's mainly because I love the look of spaghetti westerns. Spaghetti westerns are dirty. They're grungy. The
Gritty.
fucking human beings that they get in that, they look like how that world would have been.
Yeah, it really was.
When you watch fucking, like I said, Gunsmoke or Rick Dalton or any of that shit, they're clean. They've got tucked in shirts and they're all fucking clean. Their boots are shining and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
No, and that's what, the Sam director...
Who was the actor that played him?
Sam was...
Sam Wanamaker?
Nicholas Hammond.
Nicholas Hammond. Like, I loved his performance because he represented the thing that I was saying, the autorism, like, the director is going to be the one that calls the shots. Like, I want you to portray this. I want you to emote this.
Hamlet, baby.
Like, yeah. And Rick's like, you want me to be a hippie?
Yeah, how's everybody gonna know this me if I got all this junk on?
That's the point.
And that's right up there with Cliff. He doesn't want anybody to know who the fuck Cliff is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a mustache on him. I'm gonna put a fucking long hair on you. I'm gonna make you have these fucking fringes and all
this is
shit.
like not the old time director where it's like, okay, the star is here. The star gets to do whatever the star wants.
No,
Let the star be the star.
Like you were talking about. Exactly.
Yeah, this is the director has a vision. He's gonna stick to this vision, and you better shut the fuck up and do what you're told.
Yeah, and he was like, "How are they gonna know it's me?" Like, I hope they don't.
Yeah.
I don't want them to see Jake Cahill. I want them to see Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb. And then we got that. They do that. They have that moment. He bites his tongue, and then Cliff goes. Well, he catches eyes.
Interesting moment.
He catches eyes with the hippie girl. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, I was.
Well, we could see, that's honestly just like a quick fucking look. See,
yeah.
and
It happens a couple times where
he
Cliff
just comes in contact with the same hippie chick.
Drives past the hippie chick, and she's like, "Oh," kind of like gesturing up. "Oh, you want to pick me up?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm going that way." And she's like, "Well, I'm going that way." All right,
later, babe.
Later.
So he gets back to the house and he grabs his tools. He grabs his shit. He fucking jumps up into the roof. Like a fun runner.
Oh my god, like, how do you even call it that? I don't even...
It's just like a fucking fun runner, in my opinion.
Fun runner? Is that what they're called?
Leaps up there, yeah, essentially. He's just like, woof, woof, and just monkeys his ass up.
What's that game, like Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, very much so, Assassin's Creed.
Look at me, making a game reference.
Look at you, girl. Gone, girl.
Yeah.
So he hops up there, takes his shirt off for you ladies.
Oh.
Yeah, I was jealous.
Zaddy.
Jealous. But he gets up there and then he has a vision. A flashback, like memory.
Yeah.
So he's having this memory of when he worked with Randy.
Mm-hmm.
And what made him kind of get not the job to work with Cliff anymore. Or work with Rick, I'm sorry.
Not like blacklisted, but like blackballed, but...
In a way.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he has a very checkered past that, again...
People thought...
It throws
you off because it really makes you say, is this the truth or not?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do have my theory.
Oh, awesome.
On these flashbacks.
Okay.
I have my fucking theories.
Okay.
And again, you need to have theories for a Quentin fucking film. If you don't, it's not a Quentin film. That's why I love him. Mm-hmm. Because he makes you have these theories. He makes you fucking think.
Yeah.
And it's the ignorant watchers, that just...
Yeah, I was reading some of the reviews on IMDb, and it was so divided
because of these fucking people that want spoon-fed bullshit. Mm-hmm. And it's not even just that it's spoon-fed, but it's that we'll get there.
Yeah.
So Kurt Russell comes in. He's Cliff, or I'm sorry, he's
is he the
Randy?
Well, yeah,
he's
plays
the stunt
Randy.
gaffer.
He's the okay. Yes.
He's the stunt gaffer who doesn't want to give Clint the job. And he's all like, I don't want to do it because he's fucking weird. I don't like him. My wife doesn't like him, and I work for my wife. And he's like, he killed his fucking wife. And we have a flashback
a flashback within
Leo's
a flashback.
Mind. Yeah, it's Leo's flashback of
Inception. Kidding.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So it's Brad, and he's up there, and he's got his little he's got his fucking spear gun. And he's got his shit on, and his wife is drinking Bloody Marys.
Yeah.
Which, if you see in the beginning of the film, Cliff is drinking a Bloody Mary.
Throughout the film.
And this is why, throughout the film. And this is what makes me say, And again, Quentin, so fucking good. Makes you think. Why the fuck is he drinking? Did he really kill his wife? Because if he did kill his wife, why is he drinking fucking Bloody Marys all the time if she was somebody that he really fucking hated and annoyed the fuck out of him, but he's paying homage to the fact, well, my wife used to drink Bloody Marys, so I'm going to drink fucking Bloody Marys, da-da-da-da. Yeah. I don't know. That's me. Again, this is Quentin. This is the genius of him, making us that's fucking say, what is the real question here?
Yeah, if he really was like a psychotic fuck, he would drink the Bloody Marys to homage of when he killed his wife.
Not damn near all the fucking time, but, you know.
All the time. But
that is a true fuck. Again, right there. Good one. Good fucking call. That is interesting as well.
I know.
You're welcome. So, they're doing all that. Well, he talks Randy into doing it, and then we have the Bruce Lee moment.
It took me a while to understand that this man was Bruce Lee, because I feel like he was playing a caricature of Bruce Lee.
See, and I kind of believe that he was. And I will say my reason. So Mike Moe is the actor.
It was kind of insulting, or
do you think?
I don't know.
See, so here.
I'm not a big I remember watching the Bruce Lee movie with what's his name?
With Bruce Lee?
No, it wasn't Bruce Lee. It was was it the guy that
there was a Bruce Lee movie about Bruce Lee?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes. Oh my god.
I have to find it.
It has to be. I think it was the guy that played Mowgli in
Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah, I think
Jason Scott Lee played Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
he's awfully big. But
I think so.
He's big Bruce Lee.
Yeah, but also being a Brandon Lee fan.
See, listen, I want everybody to know this because we're about to get into a topic here. We're about to get into a conversation. So I love Bruce Lee. I really do, and I do think that he is an inspiration and a really great guy. I have a fucking quote of his on my goddamn phone.
You do?
And I just love everything about Bruce Lee. Now, how I am going to defend this movie is how I envisioned this scene. Mm-hmm. And I have my theory because, again, this is damn near every fucking flashback scene in this film. Mm-hmm. We are seeing a flashback scene through the eyes of Cliff. Cliff is a fucking war veteran, a man, a stunt man, an all-around fucking American man, a regular American man's fucking, I want to be like this guy. Mm-hmm. That's the type of dude that Cliff is. Now, you have to be real and say, there were men who would probably watch Bruce Lee films, especially back then, who would say this tiny, skinny fucking dude is running around going, the whole fucking time and is doing that. I could beat his fucking ass. My point of what I'm getting to with this flashback, I did not think, because so many people thought that Quentin was insulting the memory of Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Now, Quentin's defending his film, the things that he was saying, well, Bruce Lee was kind of cocky and da-da-da-da-da. He dug his own grave there on what he had to say about that shit. That's his opinion, and he can have that opinion. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But what I got from this scene was we have a fucking American man, stunt man, who is a stunt man, and stunt men do what actors do, but Bruce Lee was an actor, stunt man.
He did both.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you gotta think about it. This is a stunt man saying, you're a fucking actor. You can't do the shit that I do. What I do is fucking real. You're an actor. So when he's talking about I can beat the shit out of a real life boxer, even though I'm a martial artist actor, all that shit. And that's where, Cliff is all like, you can't beat his ass. You can't do nothing about that. That I think you wouldn't even be a wet stain on his pants. And Bruce Lee's all, and they playing a cocky Bruce Lee, because that's what Cliff saw. Cliff saw Bruce Lee as a cocky fucking asshole.
Okay.
So this is all through his point of view, right?
Okay, yeah.
So he sees a cocky Bruce fucking Lee, and that scene is just so fucking goofy that Cliff could have fucking embellished what was going on in his mind to say that's what it fucking happened. It could have been completely different, but again, this is the ingenious of Quentin. What the fuck do we know? This is what makes us guess. Is that really what happened? Is this the character embellishing his fucking thoughts? What was the true fucking story?
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, and
finish your thought.
Moving on, because we're talking about flashbacks here, and I want to get this out of the way. Sharon later on has a flashback, right? Mm-hmm. Sharon's flashback is with her training with Bruce. Bruce is fucking smiling. He is nice. He is training with her. He is being Bruce Lee. He is the nice fucking Bruce Lee. He's training. He's doing his shit.
And you see that another time.
He's doing it with fucking...
the hairdresser.
Yeah, the hairdresser. He's doing it with fucking Jay. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. We have a fucking nice fucking calm. We have a nice fucking, Bruce Lee. We have Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Calm.
We don't have the fucking cocky fuck Bruce Lee.
He's the teacher.
We've got a teacher, somebody training someone. Mm-hmm. It's somebody who's confident and somebody who is literally a teacher. Mm-hmm. That and when I saw this film, I was literally like, what was the fucking big deal? Mm-hmm. Are we in a world where we do not have an imagination anymore and we cannot allow somebody to fucking have to put a thought in our heads? Mm-hmm. Now, there are movies, like some that I do get very fucking technical with, and I'm like, nah, that's stupid. Mm-hmm. But there's something about, like I said, with Quentin films, I allow him to let me make up my own version of the story. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because that is what he does, and that is what is so great about him, and why I admire him as a writer, because that is how he writes his characters. And a lot of his villains you love, like the fucking bad. But back to it, that's my thing. It's through the point of view of the character. It's not necessarily a dig at the person.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense to me because what you are saying, because Cliff and Bruce get into this little thing. Hey, if I can get you on the floor or get you down, the winner, whatever. There's no one's gonna get hurt, no one's gonna get hit. It's just who can throw the other person on the ground.
Right.
So Cliff throws BruceLee through a car. Well, the second time.
Well, first Bruce knocked him on his ass, and then he just gets right back up.
Right.
And then it was.
But then that car thing happened, and then Janet comes out, and Cliff was just like, "Yeah, well, we fought, and I threw him up against that car."
That Cadillac was so
he had no apologies about what he did.
Right.
So
it was, I just beat the shit out of Bruce Lee. Again, American white male beat the shit out of
I know, but still, I'm like defending your.
Oh no, okay,
I'm defending your view that this is from Cliff's point of view.
Right. Exactly.
Because if this was Cliff's point of view, then he's the one that's like, yeah, I did that, and what.
Yeah.
So I defend.
So that's
I can see
me.
That.
So
I can see that.
I can't vouch for fucking Quentin saying all the shit that he said about. Well, he is cocky. Okay, and you're allowed to have that opinion. But how I took it was what we just discussed.
Yes.
So moving on. So he then goes back into reality, and he's like, all right, fair enough. Yeah.
He's like, I
can see why. I can see why I can't get jobs now. I fucked up Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
That's how I'm not getting jobs in Hollywood, because I beat the shit out of one of the best martial artists in the fucking world.
Yes. Now I'm fixing some has-beens antenna.
Fucking antenna. And here is the man himself pulling up in a fucking, an ice cream truck or some shit.
Ice cream truck, yeah.
Pulls up in an ice cream truck. It's Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Charlie Manson goes up to goes up to Sharon's house.
Yeah.
Jay answers the door, and you have that, Charlie's looking for whoever the fuck.
Well, I looked it up. He was looking for Terry Melcher, I think. He was a record producer Manson didn't like because he turned him down for a record contract. Because at this point, Manson had his cult, and before that, he was trying to get a music career. Yeah. And he thought his music was going to change the world, and that's how he got his followers. And he did get to record a song with one of the Beach Boys. Oh, Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys. He got to record a song that I think either they both wrote or whatever. But that's the song that kind of like helped him. Like, hey, I've recorded with the Beach Boys, and I'm this storyteller. I'm like the Beatles. I'm saying things that are with subliminal messages and all that. So yeah, I think that person Terry, because he was saying, "Oh, is Terry here?
Yeah, Terry around?
Terry around here? Yeah.
No, Terry and whoever the fuck don't live here no more.
Yeah.
You know, so they're doing all that shit. And
the weird thing is,
yes.
So Manson leaves and he goes back to his truck, and like Brad Pitt, Cliff sees him. Manson sees Cliff, and he does this weird like.
That was a deleted scene.
Was that?
Yes.
Okay, so
this
that
is
was
a deleted scene. So what I loved, when I saw the film, I loved that we had that little bit of Manson.
Yes.
Because that made me go, holy shit. Like, that's all we get. Whoa, that was awesome. I am so glad that they cut that fucking deleted scene, because that deleted scene was a lot. It did show the psychotic, fucking possessive.
It wasn't even like psychotic. It was just like goofy.
Weird. Yeah, it was goofy.
Yeah.
And I did not like it. But I loved just when Manson goes to the house and leaves, and that was fucking
and leaves.
it.
Yeah, that was really good, because it gave Manson that, what he is. He's dangerous.
Right.
That dangerous,
it gave you
that lingering feeling of, oh my God.
Exactly what Sharon, when she saw him for the first time, Sharon was just like, oh my God, who the fuck is this dude?
And then she, like, still being Sharon Tate, because she was a fucking nice person.
She's
was
just a great soul, man.
Amazing soul. I was like, oh, hi.
Ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. Ma'am. Yeah.
Ma'am. Yeah. All right. So for the sake of time, let's try to move along. Let's go to Rick Dalton talking to the little girl.
Oh my God,
talking
this
to,
little girl.
And I love this, Julia Butters. Trudy Frazier. So she was Trudy Frazier. And I don't know what her name in the fucking thing was what her name in the show was, but she was like, oh, you call me whatever the fuck my name is.
Yeah, she was like very, very method, and I think she represented, and also Sharon Tate did. Mm-hmm. They were the replacement of the new type of actor that Rick Dalton was.
Yes. Yeah.
You agree?
I agree completely. Yeah. They were like the replacements of his generation.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Rick is reading his little book about a fucking Bronco buster who was young and was great at being a Bronco buster, and then in his late 30s was no longer a good Bronco buster because he broke his hip and da-da-da, and he was like, and he was beginning to feel more useless. And he starts fucking crying, and then she goes over to him and she goes, oh, it's okay, Caleb. It's okay. Poor Easy Breezy. That's so sad. I mean, I'm practically crying, and I haven't even read it. And he goes, in 15 years, you're going to be living it. You're going to be living it.
I just love that she was so tough. She's like, no, I don't eat before we shoot, because having food in your system, it makes you lethargic, and I believe as an artist, I need to give my full energy to my performance. So no, I do not eat before I shoot.
Eat before I shoot
my scene. Yeah,
I do not like names like Pumpkin Puss.
Oh yeah, she's like the future is female. We all we all need it in our lives.
Yes.
Yeah, it was so
but
good.
Because you're upset, we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. She's like, you know what? You're upset. You're going through something clearly. So we will talk about women roles and cutesy names another time.
Right.
Because this is going to be a long day anyway.
Yes. So. And then Rick has his they do a scene and he stubs his lines.
The thing is, like, it was long.
Yeah.
With him, like, shooting the scene with Timothy...
Oliphant.
I always say his last name wrong.
Elephant.
Yeah.
Oliphant.
That might be a good way. And then Luke Perry. We don't see Luke Perry? Do we see him?
We see Luke Perry in the next scene.
In the next scene. Okay, sorry.
In the next Lancer scene.
Okay.
We'll see. We see new Luke. So they're doing their scene, and then he stubs his lines. And...
he's getting so hard on himself.
Dude, and what is so funny, and what I loved about that was, it's true, though.
Yeah.
There are people that call lines. There are people that need to do it, especially on movie shoots, because usually you get the fucking script when you get there.
Exactly.
So it's like, hello, memorize it when you get there.
Especially with like television.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you need to learn that shit like the day of.
You get your scripts the fucking day.
And then you go off set, and then you're fucking learning them in your trailer. So anywho, he does it, and then he's done with the scene. He goes back to his trailer. He's breaking shit. He's throwing shit against the walls. He's hot. Goddamn it, Rick! 8 fucking whiskey sours! 8 fucking whiskey sours! You couldn't stop at 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 whiskey fucking sours. You're up there talking like a goddamn baboon. That little, you're gonna hit. And then he goes over, to the fucking mirror, and I love that because he's talking to himself. He's like, listen here, motherfucker.
Well, the shot is so great because he's looking at the mirror, but the mirror is looking at us.
Yes. And he's like, listen here, you motherfucker. You're gonna get your goddamn mind right, otherwise I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out tonight. Their brains are gonna be all over your fucking pool.
Yeah.
You understand? Get your fucking shit together.
Which, it's like, very, whoa, but it's very relatable. Like, artists.
And there was an artist that I believe, I don't know, I can't remember which fucking actor it was, but I think Quentin was kind of based that moment off of a particular actor in that genre because of the drinking and whatnot, but I can't fucking remember who it was.
Oh my god, we'll have to...
I can't fucking remember who it was.
We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but there was a lot of shit that Quentin did.
There were so many references in this movie. Like, if you, don't, exhaust yourself trying to know every reference to this movie beforehand, whatever you want to know, go look it up, but there are too many references that unless you are an actual historian of film and Los Angeles and whatnot, go easy on yourself if you don't know everything that's going on in this film. Yeah.
Exactly. So
sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Just the freak out that he had. Yeah. It's very relatable as an artist.
Yes.
An artist's enemy is themselves.
Exactly.
We can talk about this for days, but in the end, that's what it is. Yeah. So there you go.
And I love that movie. He's like, "You're gonna stop fucking drinking tonight," and then he goes, "Fuck it," and he starts drinking. And then he throws his flask outside. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. He's just so fucking funny.
It's funny, but it's so sad.
So sad.
So sad at the same time.
It was funny, but it was like, oh my god, dude, this is so fucked.
Yeah.
And then we got all that. And to be really quick, because there's other shit that I want to get to. Brad meets with that fucking chick.
Yes.
And then she takes him to Spawn Ranch, Han Wine, Spawn Ranch. Takes him to the fucking Spawn Ranch, where he apparently shot a film. They shot Bounty Law.
Yeah.
So George Spawn, the ranch owner, Brad gets there and he's all like, George's still around. And all of the hippies love Brad. And they're all like, oh, yeah, it's cool. Let him join. And Brad, no intent, but he was like, where's George? I want to see George and make sure that George is still alive.
He's okay.
Because the George that I know would not have allowed you fucking people on his goddamn property.
Yeah, because it's a lot of people. It's mainly women, and how they make money is giving
take tourist rides around the canyon.
With on horses. Mm-hmm. That's what they
do. George's fucking horses.
It's George's horses.
And they make living off of George's shit.
This is real.
Yeah.
Guys, this really happened. This is where Charles Manson's cult lived, and
They manipulated
George and keep going because I know what happened to George eventually.
So, anywho, Brad goes up to the house and
it's Dakota Fanning.
I
did not know.
Squeaky was her name.
I did not know it was her.
No, I didn't either.
There were so many people though, so many women in this scene that we did not know. Lena Dunham was in there, and then the chick from You that played Love. Yeah. I can't remember her character's name, but she was in it for a good while for that scene. Yeah. So
many people.
So
Brad goes up to the house, and Dakota Fanning Squeaky is like, I guess, the in charge while Manson's away.
Yeah, they're in like Santa Barbara.
Yeah. So Brad goes up to the house and is all like, I want to see George. And she's like, why you want to? Making you think George is dead. And he's all like, well, why can't I see him? Well, I'm going to come in and see for myself. And you walking in, it's just squatters on fucking steroids, dude.
It's so
And
gross.
what is fucked up is that when I did construction, I was in fucking St. Louis, the fucking, like, projects of fucking downtown St. Louis. I was in the nastiest fucking part of town doing work on a guy's fucking house that he rented to people, but squatters took it fucking over. And we went inside to fucking fix this deck. We had to fix a deck outside, but we had to go inside to do shit too. And there were these nasty fucking hippie people that lived there that were disgusting. There were maggots on a fucking cake. It was just like this fucking scene. And I was so disgusted. There were cats in this house too. This is my version of what I fucking walked into. There were kittens. And one of the fucking kittens got out of a room and we had to try to catch this fucking kitten.
Aww.
And it stinked of piss. It reeked. It was just disgusting. And we were like, oh my, there were fleas on this fucking thing. It was the nastiest house that I've ever been in. Now, that is my version of what how I fucking know what the fuck Brad must have thought. Well, Cliff, when he walked into that motherfucker, he sees fucking a live rat on a fucking sticky paper. Horrible.
Yeah, like mousetrap kind of thing.
Yes, like just disgusting. And he's like, "Where's George?" He goes in the bank and he's like, "Hey, George, wake up, George."
Dakota Fanning's like, I fucked his brains out earlier, so he needs to take a nap so we can watch our television shows that I like to watch. We can watch FBI.
So he goes, he wakes him up. It's Bruce Dern.
I think it was supposed to be someone else that passed away, I read.
It was supposed to be somebody not Bruce Dern.
It was supposed to be somebody that passed away.
I want to know who. Who was it?
But...
You have to fucking... We have to say it now. I want to know.
I can't fucking remember.
Where's your phone?
It's in my pocket.
Find it. Find what it is.
Burt Reynolds.
That makes so much fucking sense.
He was originally cast as George, but he died before the shoot was supposed to happen.
That makes so much sense because I watched an interview and Quentin was like, and then Burt Reynolds, and I was like, Burt Reynolds, what? Mm-hmm. It's like Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
So, oh my god.
Yeah, and Bruce Dern replaced.
Oh man.
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah, so we're thinking that, like, his character is just laying in bed dead.
Yeah, and then he moves.
And he's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's me. It's Cliff Booth. He goes, George Wilkes, who?
Yeah, Booth.
George Wilkes.
He just, like, named everybody where, like, their last name is Booth. That's, like, historic.
Yeah, he's just like, George Wilkes.
Yeah, John Wilkes
John
Booth?
Wilkes Booth, yeah. John Wilkes Booth. That's right. Fuck
Yeah.
George Wilkes. My fucking ass.
John Wilkes Booth.
John Wilkes Booth? What? And, fucking Rick, who? I don't know, but you touched me because you came to visit, so I love you for that. Thank you. And
George went blind.
Yeah,
and even Dakota Fanning's like, he went blind, so he's not going to remember you.
You better fucking tell him who you are 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's just like, George, I just want to, like...
Make sure you're okay.
Make sure you're all right. And then he leaves because George flipped the fuck out.
Well, he was just like, I like this person.
I like Squeaky.
I like Squeaky.
She fucks me.
She fucks me, and I can just nap and watch TV. Okay, bye. Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Who are you? Yeah, but, so Cliff's leaving. Pussycat is the only one who's left outside, and Cliff, she's like, oh, are you feel better about seeing George? No. He's like, do you believe that we're using George? Well, that's not the word that or some shit like that.
Something where it was very threatening, like, well, that's not what I'd call it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call it that he's, like, okay.
That he's okay.
So,
yeah, you guys are fucking using his ass.
Yeah, so we'll see.
And then he gets the Cadillac, which I had a DeVille growing up. That was what I got my first
DeVille?
What I got my license in. I did get it in a Cadillac DeVille.
Oh.
And the only reason I passed my test is because I could parallel park that fucking boat.
Well, good for you.
Thank you. It's the only thing that saved me, because I failed every fucking thing else.
Well, there you go.
Anywho, would you like more wine?
No, I'm good. I saved the rest.
Do you want me to have the rest?
Yes, you can have the rest. The rest is for you.
What happened? Do you want like a little bit left?
No, I'm good.
Do you want like a pinch?
Give me a pinch.
Here,
if you're
take
gonna,
a fucking
if you're gonna
pinch.
push a pinch.
I'm not pushing a pinch. I'm allowing a pinch.
Give it a word or a blow.
Or a blow. Not blow. Blow! So...
Somebody...
He stabs the tires.
Do you know the person who stabbed the tires?
No.
The actual person is the one that ended up killing George and dismembering him.
Okay, I did not know this.
Yes.
Because, like I said, I am quite ignorant to a lot of this situation. So please, for our contemplators, share to me what you know, because I don't know.
That's all that I know. I looked up what I could, but didn't want to completely take over the episode and try to really.
This is our show.
I know, but still, like, this is...
Well, now you're going to have me and the rest of the contemplators going, we want to know.
No, that's it. That's all I wanted to say was that was an actual person that Cliff
I think most of those people were actually...
No, yeah.
Oh, wait, what? Oh, okay, go ahead.
The one that
Cliff
challenged because he was the one that
stabbed the
tires,
mm-hmm.
and Cliff beat the hell out of him. He's like, "You're gonna change this fucking tire!
This fucking tire! It's my boss's car." Yeah,
yeah, he did. And then Lena Dunham's
He's
character,
a flower man,
said, "Go get Tex," who Tex we will see later.
And Tex, I know Tex was a real person.
Yes,
I know that.
But yes,
I know all of them were
yes,
real.
They were very real.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's all that I read up and knew about was that the one that Cliff forced
he killed
to change
George.
He was the one, I believe, that killed George and like completely like dismembered him and just.
So my question, and you may not know.
I may not know this.
Was George really dead when they took over the ranch, or did they really manipulate George?
They manipulated George.
They really did manipulate him, but
Yes.
that dude just ended up fucking killing George anyway. Mm-hmm. Fucked up. God damn it.
Not sure why, not sure how that happened, but...
Nice. All right.
Yes.
Well, not nice, but fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, so he changes the tire, and I love that scene, because I love that. Just, you're going to fucking do this, you know, pick it up, change it, da-da-da-da. He does, drives off. Mm-hmm. Now...
Before Tex got there, because Tex was trying to...
Essentially, Tex was the muscle, I guess.
Skinny ass.
They got
not
a really...
very intimidating muscle.
And I'm not going to lie to you. Now, the actor who was Tex, there he is. Austin Butler.
Not intimidating at all.
He's not. Now, I watched his show... Fuck me. I can't remember what it was. It's on Netflix now, but it was a fucking... it was like a modern take on, like, fantasy.
Does it have to do with the movie, though?
It has nothing to do with the movie. It's just what he's in. That was my initiate. That's my talk of trying to tell people what the fuck else he's been in. Because that's all I know. But anywho, no. He is not intimidating. When he comes up, when they're all like, go get Tex. We gotta have Tex look this guy over. When you look at Tex, and then you look at Cliff, what the fuck is there to fucking, look over?
Apples and oranges.
Apples
and asparagus.
Apples and a grape.
Yep.
Like, the apple will crush that fucking grape.
Yep.
That's exactly what it is. Moving on.
So it was really clear that, it was...
I would believe that the flower who Cliff beat the fuck up would have stood a better chance against him than Cliff. But what was funny is we have two extras who were bikers. Big fucking, biker dudes.
I know there's a story behind
and
that.
And they did absolutely nothing.
I know there's something behind that. And I didn't write it down, but I did hear something about bikers.
Take a guess, because I want to know.
I'm thinking they were either... I don't want to be wrong.
I don't fucking care. I want to hear.
Either
if you're wrong, you're wrong. If
either
you're right,
they were
right.
actual bikers who would go to the ranch, or they were bikers that were part of the cult. Because this was a cult at this point.
Right.
I don't know why Manson and a few others went to Santa Barbara, maybe to gain more followers because
apparently there were kids.
They were kids. Well,
you see the one that's pregnant.
Well, Manson started his whole cult in San Francisco, and brought people over to LA where he wanted to do his bidding, which was he wanted to try to make a race war because he thought that's what's going to happen because the Black Panthers...
Which would be why he had a fucking Nazi symbol towards the end of his ears.
Yeah, it was during the time of the Black Panthers, and he was trying to create a new race war.
Right.
And his plan was to kill celebrities and pin it on black people.
Jesus Christ.
He was trying to create his version of Helter Skelter, whatever he believed that the Beatles song was about, which they claim that it wasn't, but I don't know. It's a whole another separate book that you can completely open and we can talk about, and it will take forever.
Yeah.
But if you are more interested in learning about the past
of Manson,
you don't even have to read it. It's all on YouTube. People talk about it all the time, and it's still talked about. And movies are still being made. We still need to watch the Hilary Duff, The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Oh yeah, we didn't watch that yet.
We did not watch that. It's in our queue. But anyway, so Cliff gets away, and what happens after
So now
that?
let's talk about Luke Perry, because we did lose Luke Perry right after this fucking scene.
Was it his last?
This either was, or there was a really B-rated fucking...
But he was on a TV show.
There was a really B-rated spoof Dungeons and Dragons type movie that I started watching. I can't remember what the fuck it was called, but he was in just the beginning, and it was such a fucking goofy fucking B-rated film. Mm-hmm.
But he was in that one TV show where he was like dubbed like the best TV dad. Was it Friday Night Lights?
I never watched Friday Night Lights.
I didn't either.
So I have no fucking idea.
But still, R.I.P. Luke Perry.
The only thing I knew Luke Perry from was obviously
90210
and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and The Fifth Element.
Well, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the movie. Which is
first.
the best.
I
was not a Buffy
guilty pleasure. I did love Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah,
when I was getting ready for school, when I had to wake up at fucking 5:30 a.m. to get ready for fucking school, my routine was I wake up at 5:30 a.m. and I used to watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer on TNT. That being said, my dirty laundry is now exposed of my obsession for the show. But I did watch the movie first because I was a youngling.
Who didn't?
And I loved the movie. I did love the movie, but moving on. That was for another day. But Luke Perry's scene. And you gotta love it, because Luke Perry goes in, he works with Leo, and you start to see Rick now is getting it. He's nailing the fucking shit. And Perry's character, Wayne, is fucking taking it all in. Mm-hmm. And Rick is throwing these, like, he throws the little girl. He throws her. Nobody was expecting. And Perry's like...
He's doing, like... I'm thinking, like, he's close to, like, Heath Ledger Joker level.
Yeah.
But, like, Western. Mm-hmm. That's my take. But, he is taking it. And you can see, like...
Well, it was exactly what you were saying earlier. The next generation. So he's essentially made the next generation of acting of, I'm gonna fucking... go for it at this point. I'm going to throw this fucking child because nobody would have dared to done anything like that.
True.
You know what I mean?
Especially if they were a studio star. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay.
And he has those moments with Luke
and even like the little girl after they cut and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that was amazing." And she goes and she like whispers in his ear, that is like the best acting I've ever seen in my life. And you can see like Rick
about to cry.
He's about to fucking cry.
Rick fucking Dalton.
Rick fucking Dalton.
I'm Rick fucking Dalton.
I'm thinking I'm back. And he even says to the little girl, "I'm so sorry about that throw." He's like, and she's like, "You know what?
I got pads.
I keep pads on my elbows just in case." Like, she is fully prepared.
Yeah, sometimes I throw myself on the ground for these situations.
She's like the Jiminy Cricket of actors.
Jesus Christ.
I think.
Yeah.
Yep. Always let your conscience be your guide.
All right. Oh, Jesus Christ, help me.
We're having too much fun.
Oh, Moss Margaritas.
Nope.
All right, after the show.
We got to close this soon.
Well, we will be closing it soon because we're almost getting there. So, we're going to skip the Italian bit because that really is what it is. He goes to Italy and he does Italian films, and he tells Cliff, I can't afford you anymore.
Yeah. Cliff
has his bottomless Bloody Marys. Again, is this the anniversary? We don't know. I loved that idea of what you had to say, though. So
yeah. Well, here's the funny thing, though. They were flying Pan Am, and I was really hoping for this episode you would talk about our experience with Frontier Airlines.
Oh my God,
Hold
we're
up.
doing it. No, we're doing it.
Frontier Airlines. I want to make sure that we're saying that.
Don't
Go for it.
ever fucking fly front fucking tier. They are the worst goddamn airline. I don't give a fuck. They are the worst. Who
should tell the story?
You.
Me?
I will get way too fucking heated.
Yeah, he'll get too heated.
I will get way too fucking heated.
So, our flight, my mother found us the cheapest flight. It was Frontier. However, even though the plane tickets were cheaper, we still had to pay for our seat. Mm-hmm. We had to choose the seat and pay for it, and then pay for our bags. Yeah. We normally fly Southwest, and we get to...
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. For free.
Southwest.
Maybe it's a little more money, but...
Well, the flights are a little more money, but you get everything else with the goddamn flight.
Exactly. So we get to our first flight, and we go from Missouri to Denver. It was a little rainy.
Yeah.
The flight was very choppy and very scary.
Actually, it wasn't raining.
No, it was in Missouri.
It just got done raining.
It got done? Okay.
That morning it had gotten done.
Okay.
So there was no fucking rain. And there was no fucking wind that night.
Okay, so the weather, let up. But the turbulence was really, really bad.
Yeah.
And
the pilot even said before, we're going to have a smooth flight because there's nothing going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we arrive at Denver, and we're kind of at the back of the flight because I wasn't about to pay for the most expensive seat.
Yeah.
Jarokk thinks that Jarokk thought
so I was sitting next to this fucking woman.
Oh my God, that's right.
During this fucking goddamn fucking situation of this pandemic that we're going through.
Yeah.
I'm sitting next to this fucking woman who is freaking the fuck out, has her fucking hood over her head, is coughing, I'm thinking literally this bitch is gonna turn into a fucking zombie. I'm gonna get bit in the throat. I'm gonna have to throw Cali into the fucking aisle and make her run. And I'm gonna have to hold this fucking cunt while she freaking eats my guts. This chick was having a fucking freaking situation.
She was terrified the entire flight.
And it was so bizarre. And I'm sitting next to this woman, and she was a bigger woman, so she's invading my seat, and I'm like, all right, okay, I can deal.
And we learned that she's also kind of handicapped.
Handicapped, she can barely fucking walk. She has a cane. And she sat on the outside of the fucking... I don't know why, if you're handicapped, you sit on the outside of fucking... Beyond me, but all right.
It might be easier for them to get out. But the plane...
Then they gotta get up more.
Right. But the plane lands, and Frontier's like, oh, if you're handicapped, please stay seated, because once everyone else leaves...
We'll get you off.
We'll get you next.
Yet, other airlines keep all handicapped passengers up fucking front, behind fucking first class, and handicaps, even beyond first class, are the first ones off the fucking plane.
Yes.
So...
Their first one's on, and their
first off. So I don't understand what the fuck Frontier you were fucking talking about. Anywho.
We get up, finally.
Right.
And Jarokk, while we're going through the aisles, thinks that he dropped his phone.
Because something hit my foot.
Something hit the foot.
Didn't have my phone in my pocket where I always keep it.
Right. Once we left the plane, you were like, oh my God.
I literally fucking was barely off the plane. And was like, I need to go back to my seat. I forgot my phone. And they were freaking out. And they were all like, no, you can't get back on the plane. And I'm like, what? We're getting right back on the plane because we have we are literally going on to the next flight. And that was another thing that I didn't understand with them, because we literally were getting on the same fucking plane. And it was like, why can't we fucking stay on? Because Southwest lets you do that.
Uh-huh.
you know, if you're fucking on the same plane, you have the option to get off, go take a piss, go get some items, go get food, or stay on the fucking plane.
Stretch your legs.
Yeah, or stay on the fucking plane. But no, Frontier's like everybody off the
Get
fucking
out.
plane. So these fucking cunts, these women who are all Karens, all of them were fucking Karens.
They were members of Airline. Like,
all of them.
Very privileged.
Yes, all of them. And I do not throw that fucking word around lightly. But they were privileged as motherfuckers. And I was like, I need to get back on. And she was like, you know what? You can't get back on. And honestly, where you are, you could get arrested. You could get arrested just for being where you are. I should call a cop. I was freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, whatever, dude. What the fuck ever. And then they're all like, I don't see a phone. And then I go, you know what? I found my phone and I apologize. I have my phone. It was in my bag the whole fucking time.
Yeah, he totally apologized.
And I apologized. And I was like, I apologize. I have my phone. And then I turn around and they're all like, oh, yeah, whatever. And then I go, God, what a bizarre airline. And then one of them goes, you're welcome! And like screamed it.
While we're like halfway off.
Yeah.
Like through the
And I
tunnel.
just go, oh yeah, whatever. And then I was like, I'm fucking gonna tear these bitches in half. I was so mad. I was like, they better not be our fucking flight crew next.
Turns out
they were.
They were.
And then they get back. They're all like, oh, do you have your phone? And I was like, oh, it must have fell out of the holes in my fucking pants.
Yeah.
And I was like getting right back at them. And I was like, you fucking cunts.
Yeah. They were giving him shit and we were giving him shit back. And I made sure to say, oh, did you make sure that you said you thank you to
them? Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is the best airline I've ever fucking been on. And mind you, all of the passengers, they were racist as fuck. They were
so
treating the
racist.
Spanish. They were treating the Spanish passengers like absolute fucking shit, which is why I say they were fucking privileged Karens, because they were all Frontier. Your fucking flight crew was a bunch of racist fucking Karens.
Yep.
Yes, they were, and I am so passionate about this shit right now.
I really wanted to make sure that we said this because it is very important, because they also Frontier, they do not let you know that once you buy the ticket, you have to check in you have to pay for a carry-on.
You have to pay for a fucking carry-on.
And they don't tell you that until way later on. So a lot of people from Denver
got turned a fucking way.
They got turned away from the plane, from their flight that we were supposed to go on.
We saw a woman literally in tears because she could not afford to fucking get a carry-on.
She couldn't get her children's
stroller on the plane.
On the fucking plane, and she was freaking out.
Yeah.
And they were just turning away everybody. And then we finally get on the plane, and the older woman, because we were at the back of the plane again, which is fine. I paid for the cheap seats in the back. Someone was trying to put their carry-on at the overhead compartment, whatever.
Yeah. And there was a tiny backpack.
A very tiny, tiny backpack that was up there, and the lady's like, whose backpack is this? And the guy,
and of course a Mexican gentleman.
Yeah, there was a gentleman who was Hispanic, was like, oh, that's me. And she's like, oh, well, did you pay for the fee for having a carry-on item? I don't think you did. It doesn't look like that you did.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what she said.
And what did I say?
You said, what does that matter? And then as soon as you said that, as soon as you said, what does that matter? That is when she put the woman's shit in and then goes, sir, I'll take your bag back. And then she put the bag right back up.
Yep.
Right after you said what you said. And I was literally, me and the guy next to us were literally like, this is fucking the most bizarre fucking flight that we have ever fucking been on. And Thomas, when we got out, he was like, oh, fuck, I could have told you about fucking Frontier.
Yeah.
I could have fucking told you about that. So we're telling all of you contemplators, don't ever fucking fly Frontier because they're pieces of shit. And they're just money-hungry cunts.
And they're racist.
So, fuck Frontier.
Even when we left the plane, they were like, oh, make sure you got your phone.
Yeah, they were being a bunch of fucking cunts.
Yeah.
So, back to the fucking movie. Thank you for listening to our fucking rant about fuck-tier. So,
fuck-tier.
Fuck-tier airlines.
Hashtag fuck-tier airlines.
Fuck-tier. Back to it, Cali. So, they get back from Italy. Mm-hmm. And then they go out to dinner.
Well, and also Rick brings back a wife.
But I love that Kurt Russell, because I feel that way about a lot of my dude friends. You love them more than a brother, but less than a wife.
Yeah.
I love that fucking line.
That's a good line.
Where it was like, where you have a relationship where you're more than a brother, but less than a wife.
Yeah, they were like
damn.
They were.
Because that's the truth. That was what they were.
They're bros for life. And we get to see that.
Yeah.
Throughout the end of this film.
And apparently that's how fucking stuntmen were with their actors back then. And even fucking Kurt Russell said it. Like, his dad, apparently, like, Kurt Russell was even like, dude, I lived that shit. Like, that's how it was. Like, when the stuntmen and their actors, they literally had that relationship that Rick and Cliff had.
Yeah.
And it was...
Well, they kind of, like, have to, but how could you not
Wherever
bond?
that actor went, that fucking stuntman went.
Because you have to,
Which Tom Cruise's stuntman, I'm sure, is exactly that way.
Yeah. Well,
For those of you that think he doesn't have one, because he does.
He does. But yeah, you, as a stunt person, you have to know every physical attributes of, like, how the actor works to make it believable to the audience that it's the actual actor doing the stunts.
Yep.
Anywho, they get back to the house, moving in. Rick's like bringing his new wife, carrying her through the threshold, whatever. And Kurt Russell says this is going to be the last time that they work together.
Yeah, because they are done. Rick can't afford Cliff anymore because. Yes. And Rick even says, I might have to move back to Missouri because I pretty much blew all my savings in Italy.
Either move to Toluca Lake or move to
Missouri.
Back to Missouri. Yeah. Because he spent a lot of his money on living in Italy.
He blew his money on really expensive shit in Italy and just, because he really loved living there and he loved the paparazzi. He loved doing it. The only thing that he hated was, and what a lot of people actually hated about spaghetti westerns, because, I mean, I can relate.
And I'm glad that you brought this up because it also brings up an episode that we did, Suspiria, an Italian film.
Oh my God, yes.
Italian films, they would bring actors from different countries.
They do their own language,
And they would say, hey, just speak your own language, we'll dub it later.
Exactly. And that was something that Kurt Russell, as the narrator, was... Rick absolutely hated the Italians' ways of filming when it was everybody speak your own language and then da-da-da-da-da. It frustrated the shit out of him. And it was like... I can see that as an actor, being in that situation, working with somebody who's speaking Italian to you or speaking some other language, and then you're trying to fucking say the goddamn lines on the paper, and it's like... I'm
also trying to react to what the person's saying.
Right, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck you're saying, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I can see how that could be very frustrating.
Yeah. So, Rick and Cliff are going to have a...
drunken fucking bender.
A bender, yeah. They're going to have one night of a good
time.
A good time.
The only way that best friends can say goodbye.
I guess.
Get pissed drunk together.
With margaritas.
Well, that's I guess that's what they were having at the...
They went to a restaurant, and then Sharon Tate with her friends, while Polanski was filming, she had people that she was living with, and they went to a Mexican restaurant, and you see like a split of like, everyone's having margaritas, have a good time, except for Sharon Tate because she's pregnant and whatnot. Like, so she's.
And it was
It was a weird,
oddly hot day that day.
It was supposed to be like the hottest day, but like I tried to like calculate the timeline. They didn't, because when Sharon Tate got murdered, she was like 8 months pregnant, so she had one more month, but we didn't really get to see, unless they just like, okay, so the 6 months.
She looked ready to fucking pop in the movie.
Well, no,
oh, I'm sorry,
because it started in February,
right,
and then it goes to August, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. She's supposed to be, I don't know, I was just hoping, I wish that they showed a more gradual pregnancy growing.
Interesting.
No. But that's just gonna be me nitpicking. But she's very, very pregnant, and they go out and they go back to the house. Yeah.
So they go back and So then they go back home. The boys have to get a cab.
Yes, because they got
so fucked up they left the Cadillac
on margaritas.
And then they get in and fucking, of course, Rick, Mas Margarita. Goes inside. He starts making more margaritas. Cliff takes Brandy for a walk, and he smokes an acid cigarette that he got earlier in the film.
Yes. We do
not necessarily important.
No.
But he did get a cigarette laced in acid.
And also, I read that the theater that was close to where Sharon Tate and her friends had dinner. It was like, the adult.
Yeah.
Theater.
Oh, yeah, the premiere.
Yeah, it was the Eros Theater. I might be reading it wrong. It was an adult theater. It's now the New Beverly, and it's owned by Tarantino.
Woof. Do we happen to know what
I tried to look that up.
Was?
I tried to look it up. I could not find anything.
I can't remember when fucking Deep Throat came out. Otherwise, I would like to think that it was Deep Throat.
It would have been cool if that happened, but I don't think so. I looked it up, and if it was Deep Throat, it would have been all over the place.
Yeah,
but it didn't say anything.
I don't know, and I know my porn. Especially in the 70s, but this was 69, so I guess I wouldn't know. Mm-hmm. Moving on. So, they do their shit, they're going for a walk, there's a noisy muffler, and I love this scene. First, I do want to fucking run back real quick. I know we're very short on time, but I want to run back because I loved when Cliff and Rick were watching the FBI episode. I loved that.
Oh, that's so
when they were watching
good.
that FBI episode, Rick was like, oh, here I am. Coming up, and Cliff's like, oh, here it is.
That is so like two friends where like one friend is in the show.
Yes.
And you have to like, when you watch your friend, it's like, oh, wait, hold up. Okay. I can't miss this.
Yes, and they were speaking my language. Like, it took me back to like being with you or Thomas when we were in a show together or any of our friends. Melanie,
they were speaking our language.
Exactly. And they were just like, and Cliff would be like, oh, yeah. Fucking solid leap, man, that you did there. Mm-hmm. And I love when the one guy came up onto screen and DiCaprio goes, oh, he was a son of a bitch. He was a fucking prick, that one. He goes, oh, yeah, Bob Hager, great guy. Yeah. The guy that's dead on the ground. Oh, yeah, Bob Hager, he's a great guy.
He's just talking about every person in the scene.
Talking about everything in the scene, and it was like, oh, my God, I love that. So, jumping back to where we were. Because I just wanted to throw that out there. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, it's a really cool moment.
That was really
if you're an actor, yeah,
exactly,
it's perfect.
So they're doing their thing. They go out for the walk, and then
tonight's the night where the murders are supposed to happen.
Right.
We get the people in the car.
The four of them.
Yeah, Tex, and then the three ladies.
Yeah, DiCaprio goes out and confronts him, and he's all like, get this fucking noisy asshole, get this mechanical asshole off my fucking private road.
With his, blender of margaritas.
Mind you, we had that blender!
We did!
We had that blender! Because my parents had their fucking blender from the 70s, y'all. My parents and my mom gave me that fucking blender when I moved to college, when I moved to LA.
Uh-huh.
That motherfucker lasted us until 2014.
15, yeah.
2014 or 2015. A blender from the goddamn late fucking 60s lasted until fucking 2014.
When we road tripped
back to Missouri, we left it plugged in.
No. Well, we had...
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Tomas was supposed to...
Oh, yeah, watch the house.
Watch the house and get our, mail and shit. Not that we're blaming you.
No, Tomas, we're not.
We walk in after coming back from our trip.
And the motherfucker was on, and it was bizarre. It was creepy as fuck.
The actual, blender was not on the motor.
Yeah.
But it was the motor that was just going...
spinning. And I was like, oh, my God, if that would have caught fire...
Yeah.
That would have been the most fucked thing.
It was like poltergeist,
It was bizarre as fuck. It scared, and after that, I think was when we decided to throw it out. Because that was just bizarre. Yeah. It scared the fuck out of us. So, but the fact that blender lasted that many years, that should show everybody that nowadays shit is meant to break within 5 fucking years so that you just spend more money. I mean, hello. Shit was made back in the day to last. So that was our fun little thing because of the fact we had the exact same goddamn blender that he was using.
Yeah.
So, he's out there with his blender, he's yelling at the kids, and then he drinks from the blender, and it was just so fucking funny. And then he goes back in the house, and then they were all like, oh my God, that was Jake Cahill, da-da-da-da, and then they decide, we're gonna go kill him first. Which, I guess for me watching this for the first time, I was like, oh my God, they're going to go kill them and then they're going to go kill Tate and everybody.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be part of the list, that they wanted to do.
Or because he saw their faces.
Right. So,
like, well, we have to kill him now because he saw our faces.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the fucking little girl in the back, the one, this is fucking Hollywood, man.
Oh my God, that chick. Okay, so she was in Twilight, and her scream is, you can recognize it.
Yeah.
If you watch.
Probably why she got the fucking part.
It could be, but I guess we can, once we get through this scene, I feel like her performance was over the top. But I know everything at this point, after once everything goes down, is supposed to be over the top. But I think maybe she was too over the top.
That could have been a choice on her, and God knows, because
Quentin
fucking
liked it.
Maybe, I don't know, because fucking goddamn fuck me, man. Fuck me, man. Can't remember her fucking name. It's what's his nuts' daughter. Hawk. Ethan Hawke's kid.
Oh.
The chick from fucking, what's it called? Well, she was the girl that had common sense and was like, I'm not fucking doing this, and ran off.
Yeah, yeah.
Which really happened.
It did.
There was a girl that left. But anywho, yeah, I think that chick was just like a little out there. But moving on. So, Cliff gets back. Rick's in the fucking pool drinking his margaritas and is singing and fucking around with his
is this
loud
huge-ass radio that he can totally get electrocuted.
Right. And then, go ahead.
I want to call this next, chunk of scene that happens. It is pretty much what every person on the planet wanted to do to these people.
Yes.
What they did to
Sharon Tate and
everybody else.
Yes.
It was like...
I love this fucking scene.
I do too, because it was very Tarantino.
Yes.
Very bloody, very out there, just outrageous.
Yes. Yeah, we see a very high Cliff
on
acid.
He smokes that.
He's on acid like a motherfucker, and that shit was so funny. Now we're running out of time, so I'm going to speed this up as quick as I fucking can. And then they break in, and he's like tripping, and he's like, "Are you real?" And he's like, "I'm as real as a donut, motherfucker." Yeah. And Cliff has that hilarious moment where he points a finger gun at Tex, and Tex pointing the gun at him. Brandy, the pit bull, is on the couch, and she hears all them coming up.
She knew
when Rick plays "Set Me Free," and I love the version that they picked for this fucking scene because it was so fucking good, so fucking good. But Brandy is hearing this shit, and Brandy has a moment where she gets up and fucking Cliff puts his hand out like, "Don't move," and she fucking very much sits right back down and is like,
"All right,
okay." And I was like, God damn it, I love that shit. I was like, oh my God, it's getting fucking real, dude.
Yeah.
And then fucking Cliff does that thing where I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's work, and cocks the gun. And then Cliff gives and then Brandy fucking leaps and starts fucking tearing into Tex's ass. And bites him in the dick, bites him in the arm, makes the gun go flying. The fucking annoying Twilight chick comes running. Cliff throws the fucking can of dog food at her nose and breaks that shit in. The ginger chick who had the Italian woman, Francesca, punches her and is like, "You coming to my house, motherfucker!" Yeah. And then the ginger gets up and Italian girl runs back into the room. Cliff fucking sends Brandy off to the Twilight chick, and then Tex gets up, tries to fight fucking Cliff, and Cliff just stabs Tex right in the leg with his own fucking hand, and then bashes Tex's face in with his boot, and Brandy's fucking up the Twilight girl.
It's so brutal.
And then the ginger snap fucking tackles Cliff and stabs him in the hip.
Yeah.
Right in the fucking hip. And he's looking at it and he's touching it and he's like, geez. He's like, oh man. Yeah, he's like, man. He was just like, whoa, man.
Oh, no.
Everything about him was just, whoa. He looks at it, he's just, whoa, man. And then he looks back at her and he grabs her by the fucking hair. And starts bashing her into fucking the phone.
The telephone.
That telephone with those sharp fucking prongs. And he bashes her into all of fucking Cliff.
Just all over
Rick's
the house.
onto the fire mantle, which most fire mantles are fucking goddamn are pretty much like railroad ties. That motherfucker was stone. Was a stone fucking man. He's bashing her head into it, and then he fucking kills her. And then the Twilight chick shoots off the gun. Cliff fucking falls, passes out. Brandy gets into the Francesca's room. And that was hilarious because the gunshot...
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Brandy runs over, barks at Francesca. Francesca lets Brandy in. And Francesca pops out and is like, what the fuck happened? Meanwhile, Twilight chick busts through the window, falls into the pool, freaking the fuck out. Not knowing anything was happening. He just sees gunshots going off in front of him. He runs into his shed like a fucking scared girl. And all of a sudden comes out with a fucking flamethrower from a film that he did. And he burns this bitch with his fucking flamethrower.
Who's in a pool.
Who is in a pool. And it was so funny.
It was hilarious.
The cops come. They talk to the cops. Now, Cliff gets taken away to the hospital. And then Sharon... and Jay comes down and starts talking, saying that he was such a fucking fan of Cliff.
Yeah, he's like, what happened?
Or, of Rick.
Yeah, and Rick's like, oh, well, these fucking hippie people and blah, 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 this happened. And Sharon goes into the voice comm thing. She's like, oh, Jay, is everything okay, honey? Yeah, honey, it's fine.
Talking to your neighbor. Yeah.
Is that Rick?
Rick? Hi, neighbor. Are you okay, Rick? And he was like, yeah, I'm fine, Sharon. Thank you. And then, you want to come up, Rick?
Yeah.
Well, I'd be delighted, Sharon. Thank you. Goes up, and finally he gets what he wanted from the beginning of the fucking film.
It does. It also gives you, that... I guess that's why it's called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because it's a fairy tale of what a happy ending would have been in such a horrible, tragic situation that happened. Ugh.
Exactly.
Yeah, it hit me.
Really sad. So, let's get down to it. Would you watch this film without me?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
I would. I really would.
It's so good.
It's good.
So well done.
It's unexpected, and I want to watch it again to learn more, hints.
We're gonna watch it with my dad.
Yeah, I want to play detective with this film and really see all the signs, and really also get to see more of the cinematography with LA and everything. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely.
Fuck yeah. All right, so let's move back to the handy dandy Shakespearean notebook.
Notebook.
Who was the heinous snail-paced Scot?
Rick.
You think it was Rick?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that. Rick was outrageously wicked, Odysseus, fucking slow in speed and thought Scot, because he may have been slow in speed and thought, but he fucked up the Manson kids pretty good.
Well, the one lady with the torch, Rick Dalton.
Oh, that's right, Rick Dalton. I keep getting him and Cliff mixed up.
No, I'm thinking, Rick Dalton.
God damn it, I keep getting fucking Cliff and Rick mixed up.
That's right.
That's probably what I was doing this entire time.
Rick Dalton.
I can see it then, if we're talking Rick.
Leo.
Okay. He was, a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, actually. That's pretty fucking good. Brandy was the fucking star of the goddamn show.
Brandy, yes. Give her all the awards because she was amazing.
Mm-hmm. What do you got in store for me next week?
Well, because you picked a film that has to do with the shift of Hollywood, I thought it would be fun to do a film during the shift of music.
Ooh.
And this film gets a bad rep, and I personally love it so much. We are going to do Rockstar.
What the fuck is that?
With Mark Wahlberg.
Oh!
And we all die.
Is that the one with Jason Fleming?
Yes.
Where Jason Fleming was the Queen, not the band, but he was the gay rock, and he was all he's just a broken down queen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. Yep. Okay. Yeah. All right.
We're going to do that.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Check out Rockstar, guys.
Rockstar, Mark Wahlberg.
2001.
Jason Fleming.
Yep.
All right. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight on this wonderful day of movies and contemplation. Everybody, you can find us on all podcasting platforms.
Yes, please leave us a review. Give us some stars. 5 would be awesome. We are...
Thumbs up if you like what you hear, babies.
Yes, please. It really gives us an idea of what you guys think.
Yeah, right on.
But also, we are all over social media. You can follow us on Instagram, movies.contemplation_pod. We are on Twitter, movies_pod. We are also on Facebook, Movies in Contemplation. And we also have email, movies.contemplation@gmail.com.
Thanks again for joining us, contemplators, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.